politician out there who will pay an impoverished young man 5,000 naira to maim or kill an opponent? Boma Pepples says, you are costing the youth more than you are giving him. You are making him a criminal. You are putting his life in danger. And you're destroying the future of Nigeria. To every politician out there who would give a 16-year-old child a gun to maim or kill so and so, Boma Pepples says, you are training Nigeria's future armed robbers. And you're destroying this nation.
You all have the right to express your ideas and views. That is what the Constitution says. And I will protect your right to freedom of speech. But I ask you to give me my own right and let me be heard. In Calabar Township, apart from Ekaete, there are 173,986 children of school-going age. Presently, there is only one teacher to every 54 children until I become president. When you vote this man from Plateau into office as president, I will build 600 new schools. There will be one teacher to every 20 children, well-trained teachers. Your children will learn English, mathematics, and we will teach Nigerian history for the first time. Our public schools will become as good as those private schools that millionaires send their children to. Your children will learn music, arts, and our history. And you know what else? Everything will be free. No more. No more. Your children won't have to leave school to make money or trade for the family. No more. You won't have to take your children away from school because you cannot pay their school fees. And you want to know how to pay for all this? Now listen. In Calabar, the industries in Calabar generate 8.2 billion naira in revenue for the federal government annually. The money that Calabar makes will be used to develop Calabar. Calabar money for Calabar people. This state has a lot to offer in terms of resources. A new system to use state and federal monies for the interest of all Nigerian citizens. Every state in this great nation has something to boast of, human and material resources. And that is the plan of my government. We will develop the resources in every section of this great nation so as to stop the abuse and over-reliance on oil. But, my fellow countrymen, we cannot achieve this if we are divided. Indeed, no nation can achieve anything if it is divided. My agenda is to build a nation where everyone is equal and has a great sense of belonging, whether you are Hausa, or Yoruba, or Birom, or Kanuri, or Ijaw, or Ishakiri, female or male, Christian or Muslim, youth or adult, a nation where no one will be marginalized and our differences will cease to matter.
He's ready to be president.
Yeah. But you never know what the president of Nigeria might face when it comes to crisis on a daily basis. War in Delta, ethnic crisis in Modakeke, a flood in Lokoja, or collapsing stock market. Nobody knows where the dodo will fall next. So when we choose a person to fill that seat, we owe it to ourselves to make sure it's a person with integrity and strength of character to navigate us through the conflict and crisis. And we emerge with our heads held up high.
Was that Theodore Roosevelt?
Nah. That was me.
We politicians must realize that we are involved in something greater than ourselves. We cannot destroy a nation so that we can rule it. Violence and thuggery does not give anyone real power. Real power comes from citizens casting their votes and saying this is who we have trusted our country with for 4 years. And to you young men and women out there, this is what I have to say to you. In this season of political maneuverings, shine your eyes. Don't allow yourselves to be used and abused by people who don't care for you. I am Boma Pepper, and I am running for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let's all go out there and vote for change. Senator Morgan, I'll be chatting with the police later on this evening.
I watched as my best friend was killed before my eyes simply because he was Igbo. It was a pogrom before the Civil War, and I was just 7 years old. When I was old enough to understand, I decided to devote my entire life to building a nation where no parent has to lose a child to any conflict. No one has to lose a friend because one tribe is fighting another. That Nigeria is possible. And to build a Nigeria of peace and prosperity is the present purpose of my life.
What a first-past feature from Johnny, huh?
Not bad. But what about Obi?
We're still expecting.
The life of a presidential candidate. Speeches, rallies, meetings, and the difficult moments of decision-making that face every human being. But it is how these moments are faced and what decisions are taken that set the true leader apart. I am Obi Chikelu, and this has been a day in the life of a presidential candidate.
Good afternoon, I am Shola Patrick and here is today's news. Presidential candidate Umar Badun had a successful rally in Calabar yesterday despite earlier reports of a riot in the town.
We all know Umar Badun. He is the son of the greatest coup financier in this country. They are only using him to take over our country if he wins.
Johnny, wait, hold on. Can you tell us what Umar Badun's reaction was after Usman Amiru's tag this morning? What did he do? Wonderful. Umar Badung has a look in his eyes. Johnny, can you at least get us something with meat, with some meat on it? Huh. For all I care, you can put your perfume back on.
Sorry, Go, for interrupting your dance routine. Shehu, has she picked up some Nigerian dances yet?
When I got there, she wasn't dancing, but from the last time I saw, she was closer to Michael Jackson than Onyeka Onwenu.
Anyway, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
We seem to have encountered a problem with our rally at Ketu.
Yes, a young man named Okuta is making threats and saying that we should stay away from Ketu or from Lagos completely.
Obviously, he doesn't know anything about me. Otherwise, he will know that I don't respond to threats with fear.
I've heard stories about this guy. He's a very strong man.
I thought you said you were strong. I thought you said you were a strong man.
Not that kind of strong. This guy is in a different league all by himself. He supposedly has the ability to hang his shirt in the air, just like this.
Oh, come on.
No!
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm serious. I'm very serious. Several men have tried to kill him. Once, He was axed in the head 7 times, he survived. Then 10 guys tried to beat him up, he survived. Even when he was shot in the throat,
he survived.
Oh.
Just goes to show you that you cannot solve violence with violence. So let's come up with solutions. Some party people say that he's been harassing them for months, capitalizing on our stand for non-violence.
And now he's taking things to the next level. Our posters are down. He's not allowing our volunteers to campaign in his territory enough to talk about the rally. Look, people, Ketu is very, very vital.
200,000 voters are no joke.
Yeah. And what if we campaign somewhere off Ketu? Close enough not to inconvenience people and far away from Okuta's range?
Well, let's just look at the alternatives, okay? And come up with a solution before the end of the day. Okay. Remember, people, we have a lot of things to do today. And if we know how Lagos traffic is, we need to get a move on now. Okay?
Can you tell me why you have decided to center the concentration of your camera on me instead of the rest of the meeting?
Well, it's just that I intend to make you the focus of my next story.
Well, it looks to me like you have skipped the part where you intend to the part where you actually do. Besides, I'm too busy right now for reality TV.
And it's not even photogenic.
You picked the wrong time. He's like that when the stress gets much. I can give you all the info you need, okay? Maybe you could question me over lunch. Plus, I am a natural and extremely photogenic.
Maybe later. It's just that right now is this story that I want. My mind is made up.
And so is Jerus, I think.
So.
You know, you haven't told us to vote for you yet.
Don't worry, I'll still come to that part. You know, running a campaign is pretty tough, and there's very little time I have to relax and talk.
I think I'll vote for you.
Why? Because we had fun conversation? No, I'll tell you why you should vote for me. We are both in the same school?
Yeah.
Do you ever have any complaint about your school? Things you wish were different?
I wish the lecturers would focus more on teaching and less on making money from outside business or making us buy their textbooks and giving points for that. I wish they would listen to me more, let me express my own ideas and my own understanding instead of just expecting me to cram everything that the lecturer says and then vomit it on the day of the exam. A week later, I probably could have forgotten everything I learned.
How about the classes? No seats, the hostel, no rooms, no pa. How do you expect us to study in that kind of environment?
And that's even if you are lucky enough to be able to afford the fees. These are some of the problems I plan to work on when I get into office. My government will make sure more money goes into education. With the debt relief Nigeria got from the Paris Club in 2005 and the increases in the oil revenue, we can afford to spend twice as much annually as we have been spending on education. And that is not even enough. The percentage of the Nigerian budget allocated to education has to go up to meet with the great need of the nation. Nigerians are all entitled to access to quality education. Quality. Your teachers should be better paid so that they can concentrate on the job instead of engaging in other forms of businesses. They should be trained in the interactive method of teaching so that students can actually learn instead of just being dictated to. And there should be more teachers so that the student-teacher ratio will reduce and teachers will be able to concentrate more on all the students. We should also have current world technology in the classrooms and on campuses. Nice shades you have there.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Look who's back to join the napkin wearers.
I knew you miss us too much to stay annoyed. Welcome back, bros.
I came back because I have a job to do and I intend to finish it.
All right, everybody, let's get going. Time is not on
Chill.
our side.
Can you hold the fort till we get back? All right, please join.
I was just coming over for the... Where's everyone going to?
TV station, radio station, you know, the whole campaign stuff.
But I thought we were supposed to be having a photo shoot this morning. I'm all dressed up for it.
Oh, I forgot. Somebody was supposed to have told you that had been moved.
Till when?
Oh, Boma, you need to get going.
Ah, You know what? Talk to Shehu. He'll give you a schedule of everything that has changed. I'm really sorry, dear. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I know what my schedule is supposed to be. Sit in my room, stare at the ceiling. At least the photo shoot was something good to do.
Hey, cheer up. Come on. If you like, you can hang with me and eavesdrop on all the campaign gossip. Have you heard about the American ninja / Rambo / witch doctor that is trying to intimidate us out of holding our rally? Oh, you haven't? Wow. Apparently his name means stone.
Is there anything I can do?
Oh, of course, naturally. But the reality... Sorry, 1 minute. Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
It's things like this that keep me going. His name is Musa, and he lives in Plateau. He's just 19. Do you know how many times he has written to me? Thrice. And he says a lot of things, that I'm his role model and he likes what I'm doing, and he would like to be like me when he grows up, and that he will vote for me on election day. The Musas of this country keep me going, despite all the actions of Usman Amadou.
I think you need to see this. Umar, I think Bello's right. Usman isn't the patriot saint of good deeds. We could throw some light on his skeletons. I got some ideas.
Shagun, I'm not going to stoop to his level and get my hands dirty. Mudslinging. Where will it all end if I decide to join him in his own game? It starts with throwing words and ends in bloodshed. Do you understand? Excuse me.
Where's Bello? How long do you think he's going to act like he ate bitter leaf?
Knowing that guy, it's not going to be long before he gets on Umar's nerves again, and he will send him off with his tail between his legs.
I'm not so sure about that.
You want to bet?
You're wrong, Ajala.
See, $200 says that guy won't last the next 3 days in our account.
Ajala, get my money ready. Mr. I did these levels.
I'm not interested. What did Umar say?
That he won't get his hands dirty mudslinging. Don't you think he's taking this thing too lightly?
He can afford to. Usman Amadou doesn't have the intellectual capacity to match Umar's. We all know he has nothing to offer to the country. Is that not why he's using this mudslinging nonsense? Just to make Umar look as dirty as he is? That's campaign strategy. That's how the empty head plans to become president. At least we know when he gets into Aso Rock, he'll be able to wage a war of words against our enemies. That inspires confidence. Except that abuses don't put food on the table or provide jobs, education.
Hey, bros. We all know that. That's why we're not working for Usman Amadou.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir, what do you have to say about the comment Usman Amadou has been making about your father?
My father's past is his past. Right now, I'm focusing on the future of Nigeria.
All right, sir. But sir, we've been hearing that lately that...
Mrs. Pepple, you have said a lot about your plans for education, the economy, agriculture, and power. They are all very interesting plans, but they also sound very, very expensive. How do you plan to pay for these things?
Nigeria earns 2.2 billion naira on a daily basis from oil. But all that has been lost in corruption and mismanagement. My administration plans to put a system in place that will not allow this to continue. There will also be appropriate checks in place at every step of the way in the disbursement of government funds, so that we can be able to monitor what is happening with the people's money. In fact, the people will also be given the right forum where they can ask questions about what is happening with their money. And there will also be a shift in the trend of governance where so many people are employed to do unnecessary jobs, collecting exorbitant allowances. I believe that these are the things that are taking up the country's money. And these are the things that we're going to tackle.
Ms. Pepple, you make it sound so easy.
I know how difficult it's going to be, but I'm no stranger to tackling corruption. We cannot say that we will stop doing the right thing simply because it's difficult.
We have to take a break now, but when we come back, we'll talk to you about your service at the customs.